the systems, but we don't take it seriously and think that it's a day-to-day thing,
Yeah.
then again they run the risk of suddenly encountering blindness. Okay,
so that's why now because of the blindness and because it's irreversible, we are just emphasizing about this glaucoma.
So the crucial fact is that it has to be identified in the first stages and treatment has to be given. It can especially be in terms of eye droplets and then also laser, but you said you will not recommend surgery because the eye droplets are better.
But in the difference between open angle and the angle closure glaucoma, now here there is a simple laser surgery. Now I told you the fluid is formed here in the ciliary body, is draining through the pupil and coming out here. Now because the pupil and this part is blocked, what you can do is here we make an alternate route. We make a laser surgery, what is called, I think majority of people who had undergone this surgery would have noted that we do laser surgery here. We make a small hole through the pupil so that the fluid will be draining like that in here.
Right. So for this particular instance, laser surgery is
indicated, because what we do is first we control the eye pressure with the drops and the injections and so many things, and ultimately the main treatment is make a small hole here so that the fluid will be draining nicely through that.
Right. So with respect to food, that is what I just asked you before as well, like is there any food that and nutrition that you need to take that might have a positive impact on the eyesight of the people, especially with respect to glaucoma?
Not really.
Not really.
There's no, I mean, your exercises, your reading and watching the TV, it has no effect at all.
Being in front of the computer all the time, because those are the things usually you will think, right, if you're always, but just being in front of the computer, how damaging can it be to the eye?
The thing is, now computer, now you have to focus on near things, near object for a longer time, because you will be sitting in front of the computer for about 6, 7, 8 hours. Now when you are focusing on a near object, your eyes has to focus on the near object for a longer time. Now some people don't have that ability, that means that is called convergence. They are not focusing on the near thing for a longer time. So what will happen is ultimately they will end up having a headache. That is one thing, the one problem of using the computers is if you are not used to focus on near things, then that can happen. And the other thing is that now when you are using the computer, you may have noticed that people don't blink that much. They will be staring at the computer or the TV or whatever, but it's not an intentional thing, it's unintentionally you will be staring at it. So what will happen is the tear film, when you don't blink, the tear film will dry up, and more than that, your computer is in an air conditioned room. So again, because of the air conditioning, the tear film will dry up. So we will have pain. Your eyes are tired at the end of the day by using the computer and all.
But there's no direct impact.
There's no direct impact of using the computer on and glaucoma.
Right. So now today is the glaucoma day, but why did when did this glaucoma day start? In the sense, you allocate a day like that because it has a lot of significance. So what was so important, because there are so many diseases and so many eye diseases as well, to allocate a day for and devote a day for glaucoma? What was the reason about behind it?
The reason is actually the World Health Organization has a program called a Vision 2020 program. I think you may not have noted that Vision 2020 indicates by 2020 we are going to eliminate preventable blindness from the world. I mean, there are so many reasons why a person can become blind, and there are so many reasons which can be prevented. So that's called preventable blindness, avoidable blindness, to eliminate avoidable blindness from the world by 2020, and as well as 2020 indicates now perfect visual acuity. It's because that's how we write. We write 2020 in a person with perfect vision. So that is also 2020.
So so the idea is that whatever that can be prevented should be prevented.
Should be prevented. And only I think last year it started, the World Glaucoma Day was nominated last year, 2000.
So it was a recent development.
2009. It's because to make people aware of this blinding disease which can be prevented. And I think I didn't tell you now, the people who have a family member with glaucoma. Now if you have your father or your mother or a grandparent with glaucoma, I think a person like you even though you are not 40 yet, but you have to check your eyes also.
That is it genetic to some extent?
It can be. It's because it's called multifactorial, multifactorial inheritance. It's because not only the genes, there are so many other things. But if you have a family member, you are at risk. So you all have to get your eyes checked, especially when you reach 40. It's a must that you must check your eyes, so that you can prevent glaucoma.
So as you say, if you're 40 and above, you definitely have to check your eyes, and especially once in 2 years or so. And if you have high blood pressure, if you have diabetes, then the risk is more. And also, according to what you said, if there's a family member who has glaucoma, right? Glaucoma, then you have to go and get your eyes checked, because if you check it at the right time, at the initial stages, it can be prevented.
And if you're on steroids, that is steroid tablets.
Other thing is, if
steroid eye drops.
Eye
drops or steroid tablets.
So then if those are the instances, you have to go for a doctor, get the eyes detected and see whether glaucoma is there in the first stages, because then it can be prevented. We will take a small break and we'll be back with you soon.
We'll talk about this thing. You asked about congenital glaucoma, children.
Welcome to In Style.
I enjoy myself.
Tell me what you want in here. If they have a very small house,
I like an editorial shoot, a fashion shoot.
And see what's happening outside this country.
It's my life. It's my life.
welcome back. You're watching Ayubowan Sri Lanka, and we are with Dr. Irugalbandara, the consultant eye surgeon. And yes, doctor, so to start from where we stopped again, what can you tell about glaucoma and kids?
Yeah, the glaucoma in kids is a very rare disease, but still we should be aware that the kids also can have glaucoma. It's because now sometimes now your kid can have large eyes. I think you may have seen enough children with large eyes like this. If your kid has large corneas, I mean large eyes means large corneas like this, and if your kid is having, in addition to the having large eyes, they can have tearing, they can become photophobic, that means they are intolerant to the light. So in that case you have to suspect whether they are having glaucoma, because this is how they are presenting, like with large eyes, tearing and photophobia. So that in that case the you have to take your kid to a doctor, eye surgeon, I mean doctor means eye surgeon, and again here a kid the eye pressure will be controlled with eye drops, but main way of treatment will be surgery. The difference between adult type of glaucoma and the kids glaucoma is that here the main aim of treatment will be to drain it, then the fluid out of the eye by a surgery. Yes, because surgery means, now I told you that usually the fluid drains into the blood vessels, but we make a filter